All right, I'm alive. Thank you, God. I'm alive. All right. Let's test the sound out. I'm coming up. I'll turn off the music. Test that first. Okay, I think it's working. Go ahead and turn the sound off. The music is barely heard, but that's not that important to me. Let me see if I could turn up the music just a bit. Oh wait, I didn't turn the music on. Back to chat. All right. All right. Guys, uh, whether you believe it or not, I feel like a Superman who got beat up by what's that that Doom character guy. That Doom. Yeah, I feel like a Superman that got beat up by him and died over 2 times or 3 times. Then you know somehow people got me up to the near the sun so I could revive, right? And it happens to be a freaking red sun. That's what it feels like. Oh, uh, when it's cold outside, I can't walk. Sometimes I go over there on the treadmill, but um, even if I take my vitamin D, if I don't go out there and walk in the sun or even in the overcast, I feel weak. I feel weak. This is my. I want to go ahead and my calligraphy practice. Honestly, I honestly think this calligraphy is helping me with my right hand. Um, well, it also helps me with my brain as well because I gotta remember these patterns. Let's see if I remember them now. I'm glad to hear my mom. I got her to do this, and I'm glad to hear that. My dad just called today this morning, and he was looking for pen like this. I bought him one because she couldn't find the other pen. I gave her. This was emergency because this is really hard to uh, control the flow of the ink. But she was looking for the end. She actually tried it and she lost it. So, why I think that's good news because she's actually missing a pen to do the assignment, even though she lost a pen. And it's good news for me. She actually have some project to do in her state of mind, the dementia mind. I think I remember it. I think I remember it fine. You see, the ink could easily flow out of this so quickly. Let me show you. Let me show you. Notice how, let's see, let's look at this one right here. It's really, lines are thicker, means I can control the ink coming out of here fast enough. Like like this one right here and that one. You got to have a little touch, but consistently. You know what I mean? If you don't, it will just come out like this, right? No control, some control, and if you want more control, is more control. More control. These are more control right there. But this is not control. Well, not as bad as that one. That one isn't bad as that one, but if you could do that, yeah, that's bad. Anyway, so, but it's not that this is bad if you write the bigger characters. Like for instance, if I was to write this much bigger, right? Let me see if I can find the. Oh, I didn't do anything here. Oh my goodness. Let's do this here. Let's see. If I was to make it really big, right? That's much bigger than before. Much bigger now. Yeah, well, I'm not used to writing that big anymore. I mean, I could tell I need to get used to that. But ink could flow out more if I make it bigger. If I make it smaller, I have to really control the flow of the ink. So this is really hard to use. But she tried this. That's what I'm happy about. And she lost it. I think whenever she don't like it, she lose it. Throw them away in the trash can or something. But she did lose it, and she's looking for the other pen. So that means that she's willing to do it with the pen that's more controllable. So I did send her more pens via Amazon. Yeah. Let's look at next one. Yeah. Actually, that's not bad. On a character like this, I really got to control because you got to distinguish these finer strokes, more detailed strokes, But character like this, there's only a few elements to this. And since you bring it right next to this complicated character, if it's not the same volume and same, what would you call it, density to this, it will look off, right? Anyway, now I am cheating a little bit. I don't know if you notice. This is it looks quite a bit more organized, right? Compared to when I started this right at the beginning, right? They were all different sizes, different. Well, I realized this thing has like a little guiding dots, grids. So I'm using those grids. So I'm using two grids, about two horizontal grids, one, two, three vertical grids. So 3 by 2, basically, yeah. And I'm using those grids to keep the character within that box, 2 by 3 box. So I'm cheating. Of course, my mom's she's not gonna have that. She's not gonna have that. So hers gonna be like this. I'm sure, like this, uneven, uneven like this. But that's okay. That's okay. I want her to do this consistently. Maybe she will understand this grid, how grid could help. But she don't have grid right now, so I'm not trying to give her. I mean, I don't want her to have too much of a challenge on this thing right at the beginning. Getting these characters is challenging enough, even for people who are not don't have the dementia condition. These characters, especially if you're going to use a pen brush like this, it's going to be a little more challenging. So I'm happy to see that she is really challenging herself. Yeah, I should be doing more sketch covers, more arts. I am right now too weak. This takes some mental effort, but physically it's a little less challenging than drawing. And there's no pressure of trying to get so much done. So trying to remember these characters. Yeah, that character is on a 1 by 3 grid. So now that character is in a 2 by 3 grid. I skip over a 1 by 1 grid. That's my space. That's a cross. Actually, that also means if we just leave it like that, it means 10 in Chinese. 10. Numeral 10. Excuse me. It's okay. So this is a cool. This is a national Chung. This is cool. Quite cool. Nara Chung. Quite cool. Now I'm gonna do Hey An. Hey An. Oh man, that's too thick. Too thick. I mean, yeah, 9 meters. Nah, let's try that again. See, this one you gotta really be careful because this character, you gotta put so many into that 2x3 grid. Lots of control. You gotta have a lot of control in this one. Gotta control the flow of the ink, how fast you're going. How much you're above the page, how much of the brush is touching the page, and how much of pressure on the page. Oh, that's too much right there, but it's okay. Okay. This of these three, I like this one the best so far. I don't mind that particular stroke right there. That's nice. I like that stroke. Nice cross or 10. I like that cross. Okay. And I don't like this right there, but the rest of them looks okay. Yeah, that's one thing you cannot do. Touch up inking. Touch up inking is hard with this. You gotta try to touch up right there again. One more time. Now this is tiny cross. Oops, it didn't work out. Okay. Try to touch up again, didn't I? Again. Because I'm a pencil user. I try to make up using second stroke. But I need a little break. Put a pen up. Give me a look at my juice. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Make sure my mouth is all cleaned up. It's a cashew peanut juice. Cashew peanut milk. Looks like a milk. We have this grinder. It's a little mixer designed to finely grind the cashew, peanut, or other nut varieties. You put some water in there, push a button, it grinds. And it's, my wife said that's all it's made for. The grinder is made for grinding cashew, peanuts, or other nut variety. Oh, I do put something else on top of it. That's good for you. Some kind of seed thingy. After I did all the grind, some kind of some kind of seed. Those things crunches up and could be a little, my little too grimy sometimes. I guess that's what it means, grimy. Okay, let's try again. This actually, it does help me control this pen ink flow. So it does help me. Oh, look at that! I just hit it Oh well. Try. All right, let's go again. I am going a little bit faster right now. I'm trying different speed, but I could tell already that I am not ready for the speed. I could already tell I'm not ready for the speed. But I think character is still recognizable. I think. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, did I do the vertical first? I normally do this first. Okay, that's okay. Okay. You gotta breathe. I gotta learn to breathe. I feel like that's what it. You forget to breathe. That's what death is. So okay, now I'm gonna give you a story behind these characters. I think I told this story before, but let me see if I could tell it again. My mom, uh, I think it's been like about maybe 5 years now since she had dementia, and she was never a very talkative person. But whenever she and I talk, at least, we talk about some deep stuff, and she enjoyed that kind of conversation. She actually likes storytelling as well. She liked to read a lot. On her later years, she started getting into writing too. Seems like a long time since we expect to have that kind of conversation. Yeah. Yeah. Idea of have a deep conversation with my mom. Yeah, that's been, you know, it's been wow, 5 years. I miss those conversations. And you know how moms are. Whenever I have a story to tell, she'll listen as if she's really interested, you know? Nobody could listen like my mom could when I'm having a conversation with someone. So yeah, so ever since she had a dementia, you know, I gave up on the idea that she and I could have that kind of conversation. Anyway, when I'm always visiting her at New York, she's looking down or looking up. You know how whenever sometimes you catch her just sitting there, just idle. You know, she's not doing anything. She's just sitting there. And you know she's not thinking anything. You think she's not thinking anything, right? Uh, it's just sitting there, blank mind, looking at the blank walls or the blank ceilings or blank floor. You. So yeah. So I thought, you know what? I remember that. So this is what I remember. I remember that having that blank mind. I remember having that myself when I had my stroke. And I'm sure my daughter caught me looking at the walls, blank walls in the hospital. Probably just staring at it. And I think, you know what I realized? When you have a stroke like that, time doesn't move. You know, that's one thing I realized. Time becomes irrelevant. Nothing is that critical anymore. You know how you get bored when you're just idling. You know, you're doing nothing. You ever been to a doctor's office and you just have to wait and wait and wait? It's such a boring time, right? Well, I found out that when your mind is kind of blank, when you're looking at blank things, time just don't move, and nothing is so critical anymore. But one thing that changed that for me was my daughter wanted me to get into art. She asked me, Dad, she saw one of the nurses trying to get me to draw on a sketch pad. So okay. She said, you wanna draw something? And I said, you know what? Go get me my sketchbook and go get me ink pen like this. And I start drawing every day in the bed like this. I'm repeating, hey K-pop. Oops. Where's my mouse go? How are you, K-pop? So yeah, I say go get me a sketchbook and let me start drawing. And I draw something. I mean, I fill the whole page every day. Just fill the whole page every day because that's all I had to do. I had nothing but time. And I noticed each day I got a little bit better. I got control of my hand, and time started moving a little bit more. Time meant something to me when that happened. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna see if my mom could write her name. She never really enjoyed drawing, but I remember she likes writing with ink like this, like ink calligraphy like this, right? So you know what? I didn't even think about Chinese characters. I just say, Mom, can you write your name in Korean? And I gave her one of these type pens, and I told her to write it, and she wrote it, no problem. And when she wrote that, I go, oh, you know, I feel like I just got my mom back, you know. Like she found herself in her name, writing her name out. So I asked her to, oh, good. Can you write your name in Chinese character? And she did. She wrote it in Chinese character, just like this one right here. And I go, oh man. So I should have said nothing because, oh man, Mom, that's good, right? Then she say, as she's writing this character right here, right? She goes, "Oh, I forgot everything." As soon as she said that, she couldn't finish this character. She did this like in a flash, just like her Korean names. But this character, she couldn't do it, and she couldn't do it with this character either. And I say, "Huh? Oh wow." Mom just decided that she knew this, but she didn't know these two characters, which was just so much simpler. So I'm going, good to hear K-pop. Good to hear K-pop. Yeah. So I decided, wow. So I decided to do a little research on these characters. And I asked, well, not research. I asked her, Mom, she doesn't know what this was. She didn't know what that was. But she knew what to call them. This character is called Jung. And it's a type of Jung. There's different type of Jung. Nara Jung. Jung is the name. Nara is the country, nation, like that. So that's Nara Jung. This is Gu. And this is Yan. So this is it took me a while to figure this one out. She didn't know how to write it. And she goes, that's a Gu is Kuaku. So that's Nara Jung, which is national Jung, or last name. Gu is her middle syllable, and it means Kuharku means search for or acquired, to acquire. And this is a Yan, but it was hard for me to find out what this is. Then she said, what kind of Yan is that? She goes, I think it's Heian. What's Heian mean? So I looked it up. I looked up all those, and I found out what this was. And then I finally figured out this is what. I'm going, why the heck is my grandfather supposed to have been a very educated man back in 1930? And why in the heck he named her like Chung Kui? Why didn't name her that way? I was thinking, and then I found out that my mom's name is pretty philosophical, I guess you call it. Oh man, that's horrible. I am messing up myself. I'm messing up myself. That looks horrible. Anyway, I found out a in-depth story about why would a person will name someone Guyan in Korea with such a different meaning. So it actually has this, all three of them put together, it has a meaning like what was that Star Trek movie, not Star Trek show? I mean, what does Spock say? Live long and prosper? Live long and prosper, right? Live long and prosper. Well, this meaning has that kind of meaning to it. Live long and prosper. And I wasn't quite satisfied with that name though. Because my mom always bragged to me about how her dad, who passed away early in her age, but his favorite daughter was her, out of the 3 daughters he had. And I go, why in the heck, grandfather who loved our daughter so much would name her just, not girly name, but such a name that is a kind of like because I found out. I mean, live long and prosper is quite nice, but uh, it also meant this right here means era. Era. I mean, yeah, this has meaning like era. Era. Can you see that era? Yeah. This one is uh, it could be sick, or find. And this right here is a national or kingdom. Or so her name actually is a name that has a national importance for the era. Is- She's like a kind of like a grail of the era, holy grail of the era. I go, what? Okay. And so I thought that was I thought that was so cool that her name means like a holy grail of the era, or live long and prosper. Live long and prosper, or holy grail of the era. And I go, well, okay, I wanna. Uh, so that's so her name is in Korean is like written like this: Jung Gu Yan. That's her name in Korean, right? So I wanted to find out her sister's names are. I mean, I already knew their name. Um, her second sister was Gu, same Sikh, and Nan. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Nan. Okay, I'm mixing up. I'm spoiling the story right now. Her her name was where I knew it was her name was Gu Gun. Very masculine name for lady. But I thought they named her because she was always masculine, like tomboyish. She was always tomboyish. She must have been tomboyish. That's why I thought they named her Kugun, right? That's second sister. Third sister was Kuja. This one, I was wondering about this one too. Uh, it's not very. It does sound like Puja, which means rich. By the way, her third sister is the richest of all three. She's a millionaire, right? And Puja sounds like so she has that same. But the Cha is a son. Cha is a. So her name Kuja is a seeking son, and her second sister name is seeking. Seeking Kun is a military might. Military might. And, this is Gugun Kuja, and she's a seeking. She's a grail seeker. She's a grail seeker of the era, right? she's a military might, and she's seeking son. And now, and so I asked mom, how come your sisters are named that way? Do you know? And she goes, I don't know. I don't remember. But she told me Kugun is not actually Kugun. Her name used to be Ku Nan. No, Nan is different. Nan is nothing like Kugun. Nan is nothing like Kugun. Nan is like a flower. Nan, like a non flower. she, she's uh, like a beautiful flower. I'm going, oh wow. I thought your dad loved you the most, but he gave your second sister most feminine name, like a princess, like a roses or like a violet, or gave her a very feminine name, right? But why did she change it to, this Kugun, military might, seeking military might instead of seeking flower, right? Well, my mother's name, my mother is born from second wife. In Korea back then, second wife is not it's not a you're not legitimate daughter or son if you're born from second wife. That's back in 1930. And but my grandpa giving her this importance of name with such a philosophy, such as national treasure, like national grail, is a kind of he was being very progressive for the age, because he gave her his second, and he also had a daughter from the first wife. I mean, second wife first, not first wife. It turns out the first wife was never his choice. It was family given, and family. I know this is pretty. Back in 1930s, they're a well-to-do family, and he was a second son. They just want him. He was a traveler, or he traveled to Japan and things like that in that 1930 when there was no airplane. So they thought of him as a kind of bum, kind of like, it's not like he is well educated, but they was thinking, oh, he's just going to, all he does is travel and he's not doing anything at home, kind of thing, So they wanted to stay home, and they gave him a wife that he didn't ask for, and turns out she had a really bad handicap. She always limps, and at that time, kind of the kind of offering of a wife for the second son, even though for the second son that was kind of insult, and he never would get to know her, and then he would always just constantly he would just travel, even after they got married, because he didn't want to consummate with her. And they finally gave her a second wife, and that's my grandmother. And he he was somebody that my grandfather would like, and of course he did, and had his first daughter from her, and that's where the Kuyan comes from, my mother. Then back then, when your duty as a woman was to have a firstborn son or son, of course, even as a second wife, if he produced a son, she would have had a spot in the family. But of course, daughter was not looked on kindly at, from the family. And my Harmony felt guilty, so he told my grandpa, "Hey, please go visit your first wife. Your family is kind of giving me the, you know, the side look, you know." So my grandpa finally consummated with his first wife, and got got a daughter again. Well, he gave her a Gunan. You know, it's another daughter. It's pretty okay. You give her a Gunan. Kind of, it was kind of a not very thoughtful name. It's like calling her like roses, you know, just yeah, pretty girl, roses. That's what you'd be like. And of course, the first wife didn't like that name because it's constant reminder. She just birthed a daughter, not a son, and she will. And this is my thought, my speculation. I think she's the type of lady that would always tell her daughter, "You should have been born as a Kugun, not Kunan." You know. So I think that's why she became Kugun. Then immediately after he had her second daughter, he went back to my grandma and got his third daughter. And I'm sure my grandmother felt pretty guilty again because she produced a daughter. But my grandfather goes, no, 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 that's okay. She's a finder of my. This daughter is a founder of a son. Sure, bring me a son. Don't worry. I think that's again. This is my speculation, but so she's bringing him she's seeking a son, and she will bring him a son. But before my grandmother could bring him a son, he passed away. So that went away quick. And because my mother and the second daughter, I mean my last, because they were born from the second wife, they weren't treated well in the family. The love that he used to have from his father was gone. He passed away. Was gone with him. And my mom left home like when she was like 15. Another thing that happened was my grandma in a year or two got remarried to another man, and that just left my mom in the family. And that really messed up my mom's life and my mom's sister's life. So, but so here's what is the moral of the story? I was able to find a story from my mom, even though she has a dementia, because she remember all these things, these there was a story behind this, encoded within these Chinese characters. And so she gave me a little bit of a family story through these characters. Mm. Oh man. $57 to tell that story, or 30 minutes, I guess. Let's see if I could do it better tomorrow. Need a little break. Oh, well, I think that's good enough for me today. 58 minutes. Hey, if you're there, thanks for coming by, K-pop. I'm gonna have a good night, and till next time, I'm out. I forgot how to stop in stream.